everybody, end of the week, ladies and gentlemen, and the Court of Public Opinion in session once again. Pete behind the camera, I'm Jeremy Cordeaux. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for so many people finding us as a podcast, as well as here on Facebook in the garage, where you can see what's going on, but you can listen to us anytime you like. And I find it amazing that, you know, those little things. Pete, what do you call those things that you have in the house and you say, hey, Google?
Well, I don't know what you call those things. They're amazing.
They are.
Google Nest.
Google Nest. Yeah. You know, you say, hey, Google, play Jeremy Cordeaux's Court of Public Opinion, and it comes up with the latest edition. Amazing. Just amazing. So thank you for all those people who say that and tune in. But before we get into the stuff of the day, May 12, 1918, Abel Hoadley. Good name, isn't it? Abel Hoadley. Abel Hoadley, Australian confectioner. He dies at 73. He invented the violet crumble bar.
God bless him.
God bless him! Ah, lovely. The violet crumble bar, which is now being made here in Adelaide. I don't know, they got the rights to make it here. The men's company here in Adelaide now make the violet crumble bar. William Wilberforce makes his first major speech on abolition in the UK House of Commons, reasoning the slave trade was morally reprehensible and an issue of natural justice, 1789. Well, it probably went on for quite some time after that as well. But it's got to start somewhere, the abolition of something, I mean. Homer Simpson, the character from the long-running television show, was born in Springfield on this day in 1956. You ever watch that? No?
No, not a fan.
Tony?
No.
No, I don't. Christian does, and Caroline does from time to time, but I don't. No.
Prefer
South
South Park.
Park. I mean, that's the Simpsons on steroids, isn't it? Oh, God. No. Television ain't what it used to be. English Baron. This is 1215. Serves an ultimatum to King John, which eventually leads to the creation and the signing of the Magna Carta. Now that's a red letter day. Wow. 1215. The Magna Carta. Katharine Hepburn, American actress, Adam's rib on Golden Pond, born 1907. She died in 2003. That's a good long life. Wireless radio broadcasting is patented by Nathan B. Stubblefield. Or is it Stubblefield? Stubblefield. Tony, you ever heard of him?
No.
That was in 1906. Wireless radio broadcasting. Wow. What happened to Marconi? Good question. 2020, Wuhan. The epicenter of COVID-19 outbreak draws up plans to test 11 million residents after it records a new cluster of 8 cases, which was just the tip of the iceberg. Burt Bacharach, the wonderful Burt Bacharach, was born in 1928 on this day. Grammy Award winner, Academy Award winner, a composer of great music. I'll Never Fall in Love Again. Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head, Promises, Promises. He was born in 1928. American songwriter Burt Bacharach and Hal David receive the Library of Congress Gershwin Award at the White House in Washington, D.C. on this day in 2012. He died? When did he die? I don't think he's alive at the moment, is he? I'll check up on that. I think he's gone to God. American-English actress Elizabeth Taylor, 27, marries for the 4th time American entertainer Eddie Fisher. Eddie Fisher, he was 30, she was 27. They divorced in 64, but married in 59. Elvis Presley appears on a Frank Sinatra television special. Elvis sings Sinatra's 1957 Cy Coleman hit, which was called Witchcraft, and Frank performs Presley's 1956 classic of Love Me Tender. I would love to have heard that. He would have probably done it extremely well too. Yep. And the coronation of King George V of Great Britain. And of course other realms. 1937 was the year. Westminster Abbey, London. Anyway, if you remember the day, I hope it's going to be a happy day of celebration for you. And speaking of things royal, the coronation, which still lingers on delightfully, a sidelight to the coronation is it now seems to be a thing to lip read. Yes, you heard me correctly. Lip read what the royals are saying in private. They've got people who can lip read with binoculars. And apparently in the carriage, King Charles was complaining that William was late. See, all these royal watchers and followers are scrambling around looking for a new and different angle. Well, this is it! Lip reading! Charles was complaining that William was late. And there was one other interesting piece of stuff. They trained their binoculars on Harry. I guess it's no surprise. Harry was complaining about his family. What else? Of course he was. Oh dear, yes. Tony Detton says the feelings are mutual. Anthony Albanese, back from the coronation, speaking of the coronation, says a move to the Republic is not a priority for his government. Now, I can understand him saying that after being close to not only the occasion of the coronation, but the king himself. They seem to really get on pretty well. By all accounts, he's quite a remarkable and good man, the king. When you think of all the leaders of all the other countries, in all the other parts of the world, you would realize that a benign, kind, royal family, which doesn't get involved in politics, is a really very good safeguard against the sort of thing that we see in Africa and South America every day, and yes, in other places as well. I've said it many times, I think we have lucked into a pretty good, if not perfect, system. As I said the other day, the coronation was a fantastic occasion, but so too was the concert. And they both rated very well in Australia. That's the variety program that they had. God knows how they put together such a brilliant, brilliant program. I'm only sorry, looking at the gala, coronation gala, beautifully produced, beautifully photographed, beautifully recorded. I'm only sorry Dame Edna Everage wasn't there. She would have loved it, and I'm quite sure she would have been invited. She was probably going to be invited to the coronation, because shortly before Barry died, the king rang him personally at St Vincent's private hospital in Sydney. So I'm sure he would have got an invite to the coronation. He would have stolen the show, of course, as he did every time he appeared. And speaking of Dame Edna and Barry Humpries, Melbourne never deserved to have the memorial service or the state funeral for Barry. They treated him very badly. See, he never liked any of that woke stuff. He hated all of that. And he told them so. Told me so too. He was a conservative. And he would have not gotten on terribly well with the Andrews regime. I can guess that. The budget, just reflecting a little bit more. Mind you, you've probably been budgeted out by now. $650 billion is what we're talking about in round terms. But what shocked me to know that 95% of things that the government sign up to turn out to be a total waste of money. I pricked my ears up when I heard that. We are overcharged, we are rorted, we are manipulated, all presumably with the blessing of the government and the public service. Scary stuff. All this truth, all this stuff that's going on at the moment about people booing at football games, cheering and booing. I mean, isn't that really part of football? Not allowed to go to a football game and boo? Football is about tribalism, isn't it? Heroes and villains. It's about also, on the bigger stage, freedom of speech. Suck it up, sunshine, is what I'd say. These people are paid about $1 million a year. $1 million a year. So soft are they that they can't stand a bit of criticism, a bit of booing? It's not necessarily even criticism, it's just the fans having a bit of fun. Turn around and give them the finger if you want to, but don't run to mama and complain. They hurt my feelings and take me to the safe room. God, for heaven's sake, what are we breeding here? The footballers should be surely tougher than that. Now, I won't name the current affairs program. I'm not going to give those people any more oxygen than they deserve, which is very little. But the other night they were talking about job seeker. Job seeker. Where did this mentality come from? It is called job seeker. People are meant to seek a job. This is money given to people who are actively looking for work, aren't they? The whole angle of this journalist's story was that the recipients of job seeker should be getting a lot more money because they couldn't live on it. What is it these days? I think it's about $50 a day or something, but more now that the budget has changed that. Not by a great deal, but they have increased it. But the thing is, the money is not there to be lived on. It's there to be survived on. You know, the whole welfare thing, I think, is just crazy. We shouldn't have, with the number of people who are looking for workers, the number of people we have out of work. We should really have, looking at the figures, we should have negligible, if any, unemployment. It is official, at least according to the court. Donald Trump is a sexual predator. Whether he's going to be named that or not, I don't know. The accusation was that he raped a woman in a department store change room in broad daylight with hundreds of people around. And then calmly, presumably, they walk out together, none the wiser. This was a civil court which found him guilty, not guilty of rape, but guilty of sexual assault. And of course, defamation, because he ultimately, when confronted with all of this, called her a liar. The court has awarded the lady $5 million, which is about 7 million Australian dollars. The Donald has denied that he ever saw her, knew her, ever been with her, and he's going to appeal this decision. I guess people on a jury can't ask questions, but if I'd been there, I would have wanted to know how the alleged rape could have occurred in broad daylight, in public. No one saw, no one heard, no one screamed. I mean, for God's sake, There'd be thousands of people, no, well, not thousands, hundreds of people around. Help me, I'm being raped, help me. When did you, the victim I mean, report the event? How quickly after it? I mean, if it happened, something like that happened to me, it would be within seconds. No, I wasn't on the jury, and no, I wasn't there, so I don't know. But on the surface, and without any evidence, I would not have found Donald Trump guilty. He is going to appeal, but I wonder really what effect it's going to have on his presidential campaign. Probably none. But it's just another one of these cases where the lawyers have a very expensive, luxurious picnic. We'll watch it with interest. The whole Donald Trump thing is a piece of reality television, from top to bottom. And it was from the very beginning, ever since he did that thing which was called The Apprentice, or whatever it was. Yeah. Thousands of people from Sudan continue to flow into South Sudan, or Sudan, whichever you call it, which of course has its own trouble. The army continues to run wild, or a faction of it. They call themselves the Rapid Response Force, I believe. They're literally walking into people's homes, taking all their possessions and throwing the people onto the street. They are looting medical equipment, drugs, food, supplies. It's a total disgrace. And where is the United Nations? The policemen of the world. That's what they're paid to do. We pay them about $100 million a year as our contribution to keep the world safe and secure. But nothing. Do you hear a single word from the United Nations about the atrocities that are going on there? I have a feeling that if Sudan was still a colony of Great Britain, as it was for many, many years, Great Britain and Egypt, I think it was, they shared that area called Sudan, but it was not south, it was the whole country. I don't think if Great Britain was still there, you'd see any of this nonsense, the looting, the murder, the pain, the suffering, streets littered with corpses. And this is in the middle of a ceasefire, a complete collapse of society, a total lawless country. And it hasn't been stable, ladies and gentlemen, since 1956 when, you guessed it, they became an independent republic. It's a wonderful country. It really is a beautiful country, like so many others in Africa. But it certainly isn't today. And if I've got a second for one more, it's ironic, isn't it, that Jenny Craig, you know, the diet company? Her sister had another diet company, I remember, called Gloria Marshall. You might remember that. But they were in the slimming business. You know, their commercial could have been Return to Slender. If they got Elvis Presley to record Return to Slender, that would have been a hit. Anyway, very similar company. It's gone bankrupt. I think Gloria Marshall went bankrupt as well. Jenny Craig has gone through the hoop worldwide. It's strange. The world is overweight, including me. I got to lose 2 stone at least. Overweight or obese. A dietary company goes broke. What does that tell you? I don't know. I really don't know. There are so many gyms and diet programs on television and get fit things and initiatives. Perhaps you could say too many. Maybe that's the problem. Thanks so much for viewing the Court of Public Opinion, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jeremy Cordo. Pete and I will be back on Monday. Have a lovely weekend. Believe in yourself and goodbye for now.